but you want to be able to have like a decent amount of tension. Maybe a band you'd use for like an assisted push-up, an assisted chin-up, for example. Not quite the same strength as like a banded face pull. All right, so what you're gonna do with this, there's a lot of different ways to really set up for banded conventional deadlifts. I'm gonna show you how to perform it essentially with minimal equipment. There are different ways, and if there's other ways that you prefer, like for example, this deadlift platform, I can actually loop the bands around these hooks here. If you have something like that, or if you want to load it up with dumbbells and wrap bands around it that way, that's fine too. But this is just kind of like your simple, easy way to do it. Throughout your program, whatever way you load up that band, I suggest you continue to load it up the same way. So for this example here, and first off, I have the barbell set up where it's elevated on 2 mats. So the mat is bringing this weight up about 2 inches or so. So it's actually going to be a little bit closer to my mid-shin versus kind of lower towards the ankles on these deadlifts, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this band right in the middle of the bar here, and I'm going to put my foot through the band, okay? And I'm going to set up in my just traditional, my conventional deadlift stance, okay? So I have the band wrapped around right in the center, okay? Now I got my feet at hip width, and if I'm looking straight down at the bar, that barbell is just cutting my feet in half, okay? I'm not right up against the bar in this example. This is gonna allow me to really bend my knees and actually load up my quads. Even though the conventional deadlift is a little bit more of like a hamstring dominant exercise, we do want to engage the quads a little bit. So from here, I'm gonna hinge my hips back. I'm trying to stick my butt on the wall. I'm gonna bend my knees to bring my shin to the bar. I'm gonna grab the barbell so that my forearms right up against my shins here, and I can actually push up against it and activate my glutes. Then from here, I'm just gonna push through the floor and stand up with it. And now on the way down, I'm actually gonna drag that bar down my thigh. Once it passes my knees, I can bend the knees a little bit more, tap the floor, and then come right back up into that lockout stance. And then again, anytime you're bringing the weight down, bring it down the same. And that's just dragging the barbell down your thighs. Once it passes the knees, you can start to kind of bend the knees a little bit more. I highly suggest working on that technique during your warm-up sets and really trying to hone in on the positioning of bringing your hips back, dragging the barbell down your thighs, and then once it passes your knees, of bending the knees. And so there's just a couple things you kind of really focus on, especially in the lighter sets. And especially as you get heavier, just kind of maintaining that technique and form. If your form is breaking down on that heavier load, that's not load that you really want to be picking up right now. And then lastly, one thing you really want to think about is when you come up to lock it out, you're contracting your glutes, you're squeezing your abs, and you're not overarching the spine or leaning back into the back. I want you to think just standing up tall and upright in that position.